I appreciate the invitation. I don't think I've been this excited about a new product in a long time. I think Nikken is famous for bringing out cutting edge wellness products, as you put it, active wellness products. But this one in particular, and I'm not being hyperbolic here, this one in particular has all the elements in it that I think should make it not only a success, but I think it should help to improve a lot of lives out there. These are my, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to start with, and I appreciate everybody tuning in and everybody coming in on this. What I'm going to do today is I've got some slides. I'm also going to do a presentation tomorrow, and I'm going to use some of these slides both days, but I'm going to go through these quickly for you. Then I'm going to look at the unit itself, and I'm going to do a Q&A. A lot of you who have been testers in the field for the products have sent in questions. And what I'm going to do is go down the litany of questions that I have and answer them as best I can for you. So let's start. Look at this beautiful product. It's called the Kenko Precision Set. It's packaged beautifully. The sleeve is, of course, biodegradable and renewable. And the box that it comes in, the gift box that it comes in, has a magnetic clasp. Who'd have thought? And just presents what I consider to be one of the premier products that Nikken has had in a long time. Okay, Ruben, yeah. So here's what's inside the box. First, there's a precision, we call it the precision sphere. It has a 2500 Gauss plated neodymium magnets, ceramic reflective tourmaline resin. This is in the sphere itself. And the sphere is housed in and can rotate freely in a ceramic reflective silicone cup. The second massager that we have is the precision wand. It has 1500 Gauss plated neodymium magnet in the tip and ceramic reflective silicone sleeve. One of the things that we talk about, there are different kinds of magnets. We're only using static magnets, as everyone knows, for Nikken, but neodymiums are a class among themselves. They are very powerful magnets that have a lattice that allows them to be magnetized so that the strength of the magnetic field and the magnetic flux can be focused. And that's what we've got here in both the sphere and the wand, two different neodymium magnets. Then it comes with two different coil cords. It comes with two different connectors, because after all, what we're doing here is we're talking about having grounding massagers. Both the sphere and the wand connect to coil cords that will connect to the ground so that you are earthed. So we're talking about earthing and or grounding. There's a USB ground connecting coiled cable that incorporates a blue LED indicator light. When that's connected to a USB port, that's in turn connected to ground. Every time you touch the tip of the wand or you touch the sphere, you will see a blue LED light indicator flash, which means you indeed have a competent, you indeed have a ground that's working. The wall outlet ground has a plug that goes into the third part of the socket there, and can also be used for grounding. It doesn't have an LED indicator, but it still works beautifully. Next one. All right, so here are the technologies that we're talking about. Grounding, beneficial reconnection with earth and balanced energy. Magnetic flux energy, we just touched on that. Depth of penetration using a 2500 and 1500 Gauss plated neodymium magnets. Ceramic reflective silicone, which has negative ions in it and also has far infrared energy in it, or it has ceramic reflective energy in it. The sphere inserts give off electrons. These are tourmaline inserts in the sphere itself, in addition to the two neodymium magnets, when exposed to heat or motion, again, giving a calming effect. Next one, please. All right, here are the benefits, and this is what we are allowed to say. These are the claims for the Precision Set that we are allowed to talk about freely. Grounding massage uses natural modalities to help relieve stress and maintain overall wellness. Number one, they stimulate local blood flow. They are massaging devices. Number two, they reduce muscle tension and discomfort. They reduce stiffness and fatigue, and they produce an overall sense of wellness and relaxation. Next one. All right. this is something I wanted to emphasize, that both massagers, both the wand and the sphere in the Kenko Precision Set are both massagers that are regarded by the US Food and Drug Administration as Class 1 type devices, classified as massager therapeutic manual under regulation 890.5660. Yeah. All right, let's talk a little bit about grounding, and I like this because this is nerdy stuff. Our bodies are capacitors, and capacitors are components that can store electric charge. And capacitors can get charged up, and when they're grounded, they discharge. So a good example of this, particularly now that it's winter time or the end of fall, it's dry. And when you walk across a carpet, you build up more and more charge in your body, which is as I said, a capacitor. Enough charge that when you touch the wall socket or you touch a light switch, you can actually feel it pop. You can actually feel the discharge. What we do, grounding provides a path for the charge to flow to earth so that you can rid your body of this excess charge, which is detrimental, and offer a connection to earth itself, which is communicative. Next one, please. All right, here's something I pulled. What I did, I wanted to learn as much as I could about grounding, because quite frankly, until recently, with my connection to Niken and the grounding pad, I didn't know a whole lot about it. So what I did was I went to Google and I searched the National Center for Biotechnology information for earthing and grounding. And I wanted to look for literature references. I wanted to look for publications that talked about grounding and that talked about earthing, that talked about the benefits, so that I could get a bigger picture of what it really means and what it's really about. There's an article that I think is very nice in the Journal of Inflammation Research from 2015. It's a multidisciplinary research. Earthings produces, quote unquote, intriguing effects on physiology and health relating to inflammation and immune response. The next one is the Journal of Environmental Public Health from 2012, which is a review. And it says, quote unquote, highly positive and overlooked, unquote, impact of direct contact with energies associated with the surface of the earth suggests that earthing or grounding can create stable internal bioelectrical environment. And then the last one I have on here is Explore, which is another publication that says there's two basic ways to earth. There's two basic ways to ground. One, spend time outside barefoot, or two, if you're indoors, connect to conductive mats, pads, body bands, and patches, or connect to the Precision Set massagers. Next one, please. Next one. Okay. Now I'm putting the benefits and claims back up here for a reason. And that is, I just talked about inflammation. I just talked about immune response. I just talked about in regard to literature publications that focus on grounding. But what we're allowed to say and the claims that we are permitted to make for the grounding massage devices are stimulate local blood flow, reduce muscle tension and discomfort, reduce stiffness and fatigue, and of course, produce an overall sense of wellness and relaxation. Next one, please. Okay, so here's what we got. We have the USB ground connecting coiled cables plugged directly into a USB connector, which use a grounded system like a computer or a laptop, and make sure that the computer or the laptop is also plugged into an AC adapter that's plugged into the wall, so that you have a communication, a true grounding, a true earthing line that goes from the USB port through the computer or through the laptop to ground. And then there's the wall outlet ground, which you ensure that the outlet is grounded before. And ensuring that the outlet is grounded, I've gotten a bunch of questions on how best to do that. And I don't know if you can see this or not. Let's see, everything's backwards for me. This is a very inexpensive way. Can you see that? Okay, this is a very inexpensive way. You can get these at hardware stores. You can get them at Home Depot. You can get them at probably Target and a bunch of other places that sell any kind of electronics or electrical things. And it is a circuit tester. It's called a circuit tester. This one, and I'm going to show my age here. This one actually came from Sears. I got it a whole bunch of years ago. They don't wear out. They last forever. The current, I looked up the contemporary ones online, and they end up costing somewhere around $6 or $7, maybe even less, depending. I haven't really gone on Amazon to check it, but what you do is you plug this in, and you can see there are the 2 prongs plus the grounding plug. You plug that into the wall outlet that you're going to use for the grounding, and it should come up. In this case, it comes up with 2 green lights on the outside, which tells you that the circuit is correct, the grounding is good, and that it's solid, and you can go ahead and utilize it for either one of these, the devices, either the sphere or the wand. All right, next one, please. So let's talk about the sphere a little bit. And what you do is you connect the coil cord of your choice, either the USB or the plugged-in device. The sphere is used for a larger, flatter areas like calf or bicep or hamstrings. I've been asked questions about how hard do you press. Apply comfortable amount of pressure and continue massaging until you feel the desired relief. And you know what I'm going to do right now? I've got my Kenko Precision here. I'm going to slide it out. I'm going to take it apart. Beautiful. And I'm going to take out the sphere, and I'm going to take out the wand and my coil cords. I'll put aside just for a second. Since we're talking about the sphere, let's look at the sphere. If you look at the North Pole of the sphere, you will see it has a neodymium magnet, and I think it's pretty obvious which of the dots, which of the spots on this are the magnets. There are 2 of them, one at the North Pole, one at the South Pole. And then if you look at the same longitude, but at the equator, you have 2 dots, 2 spots, if you will, 2 inserts that are, here we go, there we go. Oh, very good. 2 inserts that are tourmaline resin. So that's giving off the ceramic reflective elements that we're talking about here. Let's see if I can dial this. You can see, you know, it's so hard for a small mind like mine to adjust to having everything being the opposite. You know, what I'm seeing now is a mirror image of the face that I see every morning. And you can see the dot here, and there you go. There's the magnet. There. Okay. Now, if I look at the wand, and I'm going to go. Should I finish up with the sphere first, Ruben? Or here's the wand, and the neodymium magnet for the wand is right on the tip. So you can see it is it's a healthy, effective, and strong magnet, and really does the job. All right, so let's go back, Ruben, to the PowerPoint for the sphere, and I'll just finish these up. Thanks. So again, apply a comfortable amount of pressure when you're using it and rolling it around. Don't press too hard, but press hard enough to feel it, press hard enough to make a difference. And it's just pretty simple to use. Okay, next one, Ruben. All right, now we're talking about the wand, and again, connected to one of the coil cords of your choice. Make sure that the cord is plugged into a grounded outlet if you're using the plug type, or the USB is plugged into a device that's also grounded. The wand is designed for small, deep, or precise applications, such as elbows, joints, hands, toes. And again, press it. You should feel it. It shouldn't be painful. Press it so that you can feel it and so that you can move it around, and continue the massaging until you've reached the desired effect. And I have an asterisk there that says apply comfortable pressure as needed. All right, Ruben, next one. This is a slide that kind of got away from me a little bit. And what I wanted to point out here is people have asked me, okay, Dave, can we say acupressure? And the answer is no. These are not acupressure devices. These are massage devices. And we don't say acupressure, but if you go online, and you say, well, gee, Dave, I want to know exactly which areas I should be massaging, you can go online and Google and find massage therapy charts. And this is just indicative, one of the ones. I didn't label anything because I don't want to make any claims about treating a specific ailment or a specific anomaly, but you can go online yourselves. You can Google massage therapy charts, and you will get a plethora. You will get a whole bunch of different charts that you can take a look at, that you can download, and that you can employ yourself or recommend to others that they can use and follow those massage therapy charts for applications. Okay, Ruben, next one. All right, these are the caveats, and I probably should read them because it's important to understand that caution should be used when using electronic devices such as pacemakers or magnetically sensitive implant. This is the warning or the caution or the caveat that we've had ever since we've been out with magnetic products. We advise not using in the first trimester of pregnancy. Consult your physician when in doubt, and medications used to thin blood, regulate blood sugar, control BP, blood pressure, or thyroid activity. You should consult your doctor before and during use. Standard stuff, need to say it. It's important that that these things be pointed out. Okay, next one, Ruben. All right, so here's the summary. What we've got is the Precision Sphere, 2500 Gauss, 2 independent 2500 Gauss plated neodymium magnets, one at the North Pole, one at the South Pole of the sphere. Ceramic reflective tourmaline resin inserts at opposite ends at the equator of that longitude. And then the Precision Wand, we have a 1500 Gauss plated neodymium ceramic reflective silicone. And we got somebody's obscured me here. Barbara Bertucci, your comment has obscured me. Thank you. And the coiled grounding connectors. All right. Next one, please. Okay, here we go. This is a good summary, I think. Unique proprietary magnetic grounding massagers. Nobody else has these. These are ours. Nobody else can have them, and we have exclusivity on it. They can be used separately or together. Assist in helping to provide overall wellness and relaxation based on the principles of massage and grounding. Allows application to virtually every outer body part. Kenko Precision Set for active wellness. Okay, all right. Now I'm going to move to the Q&A. These are questions that we've gotten that have been submitted by people who have had the product, have tried the product, have used the product, and come up with questions that they'd like answered. And I just saw one from Barbara Bertucci. Barbara, you must have a portrait in your attic that's doing the aging, because you're not aging at all. And it's a pleasure to see you. And now you were asking something about a battery pack. Yes.
Yeah, it's under my computer. I have my computer's plugged into a backup battery pack.
Okay, so what'll
that's
happen?
Still grounded.
Right, it will
plugged
still,
into the wall.
It will still ground. It will follow the circuit all the way through, and it will still ground. So yes,
Okay.
And again, thank you for the question. Pleasure. Let me start with some of the ones that Bill and other people have sent in, and I'm going to go ahead and rip through these, and hopefully not take too long and bore people. But one of the questions we got, one of the first questions we got, is how deep is the magnetic field penetration for each device? And let me preface that by saying, how do you measure that? And I say that because it is counterintuitive that magnetic energy is not impacted by tissue. It's not impacted by bone or muscle or tendon. It goes right through. The only thing that's going to stop it is lead. So think of magnetic energy and Superman's vision. If Superman can't see through it, then the magnet can't go through it. So in our case, what we're talking about when we say how deep is the magnetic field penetration, here's how we measure it. We take the magnet and we take a sensing device hooked up to a Tesla meter. And what we do is we move the Tesla meter away from the flux lines of the magnet until we get to a point where we say, okay, the Gauss strength at that point is probably the limit of effectiveness for impacting the cells and the tissues the way we want to. In the case of the wand, it's about 1 inch. That's the effective depth. It's about 1 inch. In the case of the sphere, it's about 1.5 inches. So I hope that answers it. I probably confused people more than I clarified, but I gave it my best shot. What's the recommended time for use with each device? There's really no recommended time. Use it until as you're comfortable. Don't use too much pressure, but use enough pressure so that you feel it. Use enough pressure so that the musculature or the tissue underneath it is being massaged. It's a massage device. Can we get too much or too little? Not really. All right. Where are the ceramic reflective properties introduced? In the sphere, of course, the tourmaline inserts we have 2 tourmaline inserts in the sphere, but we also have components within the silicon case that have negative ions and ceramic reflective elements, and that is true for the wand as well. Here, I still got my paper clip here. The material here, this silicon material that you're holding on to here, is embedded with tourmaline and ceramic reflective elements, so that both products give you all of the technologies together and I like to say in concert. And I guess I've just already answered that. In the black casing of the sphere, okay, so I've already answered that. Next one. Explain how to test or demonstrate that USB grounding cable is actually grounding, and what's the purpose of the blue LED light incorporated into the USB? Does the blue light go to common ground somehow and the light to verify grounding? All right, let's explain. I talked about how we can use this to determine whether or not the coil cord that we plug in to the wall, this guy, is actually finding a ground that's going to serve the purpose. Using one of these is a fantastic way to do it, and it's foolproof, it's idiot proof, and it plugs in just the way you'd find any other 3-prong plug. You plug it in and you look for the lights. In this case, when everything's kosher, everything's good to go, you get 2 blue lights and no white light. All right. The USB connector on the coil cord, this is really innovative. This is really smart. This is really clever. And what it allows you to do, it gives you the flexibility of being able to plug the coil cord for either the wand or the sphere into a USB port. And again, if I've got my laptop here, and unfortunately you can't see it because it's on the side, but I plug this into my USB port, and whether I put the wand on or the sphere, every time I touch, it goes off. Every time I touch, the light lights. And what is the light doing? The light is telling me that I have completed a grounding connection, so that the excess energy from my capacitive body is able to exit and go through the USB port and out to Earth. I hope that makes sense. I say it's innovative because it's not readily intuitive that you could use a computer, a laptop, or you could use a USB. In fact, I've got my Kenko lights on either side of me, giving me light here, and my Kenko light has a USB port on the back of it, and I have that on my desk, and that's what I use quite often to plug in the USB coil cord for this. And I have tested it, and of course I've played with it a whole lot, and what I found is if I unplug the light with the USB adapter in, the LED does not light. The LED does not go on because I don't have a complete circuit. And somebody just said, does the laptop have to be plugged in? And the answer is yes. You want to have the laptop plugged into the AC adapter to the wall, just as we said with Barbara, in order to complete the travel, complete the path, complete the journey to ground. All right. I have used the earthing continuity tester to demonstrate the wall outlet grounding plug works, but I need some method to visibly demonstrate that the USB grounding cable is actually grounding. There is a great video that's available on YouTube. Just go to YouTube and plug in the Boolean window, type in test your body voltage. And the very first video that comes up is a video that tells you how to use a multimeter, how to use a multimeter in order to not only see how much charge you have in this capacitive body of ours, but also to see it discharged when you touch it with one of the precision set massagers. And if I have time, I'll try to set that up. But let me go on with my questions. And again, go to YouTube and type in test your body voltage, and you'll come up with a great step-by-step. I think it's 2 minutes and 30 seconds. It's not something you have to sit through. It's not boring. It's very, very, very easy to understand, to show you how to set that up so you can monitor how much voltage you have in your body and take a look at it being completely expelled and completely removed when you touch it with one of the grounded massager. All right. How close to pressure point do I have how close to the pressure point do I have to be to benefit from these technologies? Can we say acupressure? No, you can't say acupressure. And I've already said, go to Google and look up massage therapy charts, and it'll tell you, it'll give you recommendations, excuse me, as to where you need to go in order to effectively, I almost said treat, to effectively address the issues. All right. Is there an app you recommend that is simple for the layperson to use and follow? Not at the moment. I'm looking for one, and I'm wondering whether or not we can develop one. That's something that I'm going to have to table, but because I don't have the definitive answer right now. But I will find out what it is, and I will come back to you. How much or little pressure do I use with the wand, and for how long? Okay, again, you want to have firm pressure. You want to push in. Here's my my pliant skin on my hand here, and I'm pushing in, and this does not cause me any discomfort. It shouldn't cause you any discomfort, but you should apply it with enough force, enough firmness in order to, as I say, significantly depress my ever so pliant skin. And it seems to be getting more so as time goes on. Some customers live alone. How will they self-treat, and any tips or suggestions? Well, let me just say that both of these massagers were designed for self-treatment. They were designed for self-care. They were designed to be used by an individual on themselves. The only area of the body that you really can't get to would be kind of the center of the back. Lower back you can get to, upper back you can get to, but the center of the back you can't get to. And one of the suggestions that I've had for conquering that issue is, if you place the sphere on a yoga mat, something that's soft, something that's got some resiliency to it, you place the sphere there and then roll your back on top of the massaging sphere, that can work. And we'll be looking for other things. I thought about sticking it to the wall using double stick tape in order to accomplish the same thing, but I got to try it out myself. I don't know how well it's going to work, but I certainly think the yoga mat suggestion makes a lot of sense. Care and maintenance. Oh, this is a good one. Care and maintenance. All right. You don't want to use alcohol. you don't want to use, because people are wondering if they can clean it, and if they're using it on themselves and then they're using it on somebody else, how do they clean it in between? You know, especially in the days of COVID. I guess we're still in COVID or post-COVID or wherever we are. You're worried about transmitting microbes or transmitting contaminants from one to the other. And in this case, what you want to do is use some mild dishwasher soap like Dawn or Palmolive or whatever it is. Make a dilute solution of that in a soft sponge, wring it out, and you can clean all the surfaces with it, including the chrome. Excuse me. Using alcohol on the chrome itself is not a particularly good idea, so we really don't want to do that. This is my last question. No. Okay, can both devices be left plugged in at all times? This question frequently comes up with the Kenko round. The answer is yes. Excuse me, there's no reason why you can't leave these plugged in all the time. After all, it's going to ground. So if there's no input, it's fine. You can leave them on, not a big deal, not an issue. Oh yeah, and someone asked me about a video that they saw from AccuEarthing, which looked like it had a device that's very similar to the probe or to the wand. And that I've tried to follow the link, and it's not online anymore. It's been taken down, so I don't know whether that's an ongoing issue. Will our two products be considered medical devices when the patent is approved? Well, the patent is pending. And there are a couple of patents that are pending, but they're medical devices right now. They're considered to be Class 1 medical devices. They've been registered with the Food and Drug Administration. So yes, when the patent's approved, they're still medical devices. They start as medical devices and they continue. And will they have medical codes so that doctors can prescribe to patients? And the answer is we'll have to look for the CPT codes. These are the current practices and technology codes that the insurance companies use in order to make a claim and in order to get reimbursement for people. Can it be used in a, so these questions are flashing up here on the screen, and I'm in the middle of saying something. That's okay. Can it be used in a USB in the car? And the answer is yeah, because those are grounded. Now they're grounded to the battery, so they're not grounding to earth. So it will take the excess electrons, it will take the excess voltage out of your body, but it won't connect you with the earth. It won't connect you with, so it'll work. You'll get a flat, the USB light will flash, but it's not ideal. You really want to be grounded. You really want to be earthed. Okay. And the last one, I think it's the last one. Yes, it is the last one. What are the lengths of the USB grounding cables and the wall outlet grounders? And if you stretch them out, you get about a yard. You get about 3 feet. But you probably want to have a little caution there, because you don't want to stretch it. You don't want to stretch it too much, because the coils will have a certain memory and they will lose their memory. And these questions are popping up here. Does it get warm? No, it doesn't. It doesn't get warm. It's good. It might create some warmth, but no, it is in and of itself not warm. And okay, I think that's about it for me for today, Ruben. I'll do the presentation again tomorrow. It'll be different, and I will show. I hope to have the video to show you. Actually, I'll enact the multimeter demonstration tomorrow. Does it have to roll to be effective? No. All it has to do is touch. I'm seeing all these questions pop up here, and okay, that's about it, Ruben. Thank you, everybody.
Dave, thank you very much. So, do you answer all the questions here in the chat? Yes.
I don't know if I did. Would it be okay to use with somebody with steel rods? And the answer is yes, no problem whatsoever.
Hey, Dave, can we open the mic just 5 minutes?
Sure.
Yeah. So
Sure.
if you go to your reactions, just raise your hand so we can see who still has a question. Okay, we have Ruth Law. So
Thank you. I just want to confirm both units, the wand and the sphere, must be plugged in to be used.
Correct.
Okay, so you can't just take the rolling sphere and go walk and roll.
You can, of course, but you won't get the benefits of the grounding. You won't get the benefits of the earthing. So
Okay.
unless you're attached to one of the two coil cords and you have that attached to ground, either through the USB or at the wall outlet, you will not get the benefits of grounding.
But you'll get the benefits of the neodymium.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely, you will. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Paula,
If we're using the grounding mat, what extra benefit are these devices?
Well, the grounding mat does not massage. The grounding mat is strictly meant to, again, to discharge the capacitor that we call our bodies. And that's great, but it's passive. In this case, what you're doing is you're actually using these devices as massagers so that you have the benefits of earthing, magnetics, ceramic reflective fibers, and negative ions. So it's different animal.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah.
Patty,
Thank you. I think it's wonderful. I have a question. If you just put moisturizer on your face, since you
Uh-huh.
want blood flow in your face, and use the roller, I have it connected right now, and just use
Uh-huh.
the roller in all the areas. What happens with all the moisture, if moisturizer gets here, do you clean it the same way, or you do
Yeah.
not recommend like
You know-
oil, or, because for massage, sometimes you want to have oil and.
Sure. I'm gonna use a very technical word now. It's gonna get gunky. It's gonna get here the
Gunky.
cream or the oil or whatever you're using is gonna dirty up the sphere and it's gonna get all over the place. Again, clean it with mild soap and warm water.
Okay, but it won't damage it. It
No,
might
no,
get
no.
bulky, but that's as far, and I'm sure, can you take it out of the silicone? Can you
You
take it out?
can. You can.
Okay.
It pops out and it pops back in.
Okay, so then you can clean it. I just figure moisturizer will help in the absorption and maybe be a better absorbed or something while you're getting more
Up to you.
circulation.
It's up to
Okay.
you. You can
Well,
certainly-
clients that care for their faces and the moisturizer
Right.
will love it.
And
Thank you.
they're gonna do it without my permission.
Okay.
thank you. Dr. Balzer,
Thank you, Dave. In the packaging, does this device come with information of how to use it and any of the other information in a little brochure?
It
I
is.
love-
There's an insert that tells you tells you how to use it. To be honest with you, I think it's pretty intuitive, but yes, there's an insert on how to use it, and we don't have charts. We don't put the charts in there. Those you'll have to get online. And I believe that there's going to be pretty good support on the Nikon website with Q&As and how-tos and illustrations. So I think you'll find that it'll be pretty clear.
Wonderful. Thank you.
thank you. Bertucci,
Again, Barbara?
Of course, of course. Hey, I know you talked about the magnet in this guy,
Yeah,
but am I correct saying that the black dot is the tourmaline? Or no?
correct.
I
Correct.
just got it today, so
The
I'm,
black dot is the tourmaline, and the silver dot, there are two silver dots, inserts we call them. Those are the magnets.
okay, very good. Thank
Get-
you so
get-
much. This is
Get
exciting.
a paper clip.
I did.
Okay, good to go.
Nancy,
Thanks.
I was wondering if there was anyone on this call who has had it long enough that they've experienced relief or whatever. I was just wanting, like a testimonial, I guess. Yes? Well,
Well, I got mine about a week ago, and the other night I slept wrong. And I'm not exactly sure why, but I had a real crick in my neck, where if I wasn't careful when I turned, I felt it. And I used the sphere and massaged back here. And I gotta say, it's pretty good. Helped me.
D. Welsh,
it was plugged in when you were using it, so you were getting the grounding and the other.
Absolutely. Yeah, I was sitting at my computer, just like I'm sitting here now.
Okay.
And someone's asking me to demonstrate how to use it again. Sure. Which first, do I do that now, or
Yes, you can.
I'm avoiding Alan? All right, so this is the probe, and I've got it plugged into my USB port, and my computer's plugged in to the wall, and just hold it like a pen, and decide, okay, I'm going to apply it here, or I'm going to apply it on my hand, on the back of my hand, my wrist, wherever it may be. Again, appropriate amount of pressure. An appropriate amount of pressure is going to be the feedback that you get from your own body. Am I pressing it too hard? If it hurts, don't do it. It's not, you don't need to press it that much, but press it enough so that the sphere, the little bulb at the end of this gets into the tissue, including the magnet. And the sphere, I'm not going to hook it up, but again, all right, I'll hook it up. There we go, pretty easy. Again, here's I was asked just now, there's Barbara asked about that's the tourmaline insert, and come on. There we go. There is the magnetic insert. I love this. There's the magnetic insert. It's hard to miss. And it's just as simple as that. Hold it. And I've got this area of my wrist that I want to apply it to, and just rub it firmly. But don't crush yourself. Rub it firmly in the area. When I did my neck, I was rubbing it. And I think I got a question earlier about, can you use it through your clothes? And the answer is, if you want to get the effects of the grounding, then you have to have, and it has to be electrically connected. In other words, no, you can't have insulation in between. It's got to be directly on your skin. Oh man, that really does feel much, much better. Okay.
Dee Welch?
Thanks so much, Dave. My question is, so many people right now are having a lot of trouble with soreness in their throat, lots of coughing. Any comments one way or another on the potential help for any of that?
Well, I mean, I never thought about it. I supposed it can be used here. You know, you kind of have to approach this as these are indeed bona fide massaging devices. So if it can be helped by massage, then this is going to help it even more. It's going to be even more efficacious. It's going to be even more of a help to you. Sore throat, tough one. I can't sit here and say that I know it would make a difference because I've never thought about it. And again, does it help to massage your throat if you've got a sore throat? I don't know. Not so much, I don't think.
Okay, thanks.
Sure.
Rocco.
Alan,
Hello there. How are you?
long time no see.
It's been a long time. Great to see you.
Great to
It's
see
actually
you.
my wife that has the question, at least at first.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi.
My question is because we don't have the device with us.
Okay.
So I have no idea exactly how it is.
Okay.
What happens if it falls inside the water?
It's okay. No, it's okay. There's nothing electronic inside it. There's nothing, there's no battery, there are no gizmos inside of it that can be damaged by water. It's perfectly okay. In fact, we're telling people to clean it using some warm water with a mild detergent. And no, you're good to go.
So if you open the faucet and you put it underneath with warm water, that's okay to clean it like that?
Yes, it's okay to clean it like that. Yes. Warm water, mild detergent. And I brought up the mild detergent because people want to clean it, and they're thinking about bacteria, they're thinking about microbes, they're thinking about viruses. If you use a mild detergent like Dawn or something you would use to wash the dishes in your sink, use a mild detergent, that will kill the bacteria, that will kill the microbes. And so you can feel good about having it clean enough for somebody else to use. Okay.
Okay, so my question then is, since you're using the word massage, does it vibrate at all? Is there any?
No.
There's
No.
nothing. Okay.
No.
I just wondered that. And you said that.
Well, I mean,
how long?
you know, the Kenko Creator was a massaging device, is a massaging device.
Good
It has moving parts, but it doesn't vibrate. But we're okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Good to see you, Alan.
Thank you. Great seeing you too, Dave.
Yes,
Coddle.
Mr. Cottle.
Hello, and Dave, thank you so much.
My
You've
pleasure.
answered every one of my questions.
Well, your questions, we had your questions, actually. They were compiled and they were given to me in a list. And I guess I feel kind of like I'm cheating because I saw the questions before I needed to answer them. So I had a little bit of time to think about it. And the one I think you asked, what's the depth of penetration of the magnetic field? And I had to go back and do a little bit of testing and decide exactly how to answer that. And I hope that was okay for you.
Perfect. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Good.
I raised my hand to answer Nancy's question, and Dave, we must be from the same mold because the very first place I put it was right there where I have a lot of challenge.
Yeah. Well, we have the same hairline.
That's right. Well, you might have a little more. I don't have it down here.
Oh, well, that's just bragging, you know. That's
So to those that have asked, think Mag Duo. I mean, it's not got any bumps to it for massaging, but
right.
definitely it's smooth, it's cool, it feels good, it relieves. But the very first thing that I did is I didn't know what this wand was all about. So what I did is I put it right there, and that was where my question about how do you know where to push, how hard do you push, because that wasn't real comfortable on my neck.
Right.
Boy, it was really good right here.
Right.
And
Yeah, you
so,
don't want to years ago we had these TENS devices,
mhm.
transcutaneous electrical nerve stimulation. We had the electric care and we had the solar TENS. And I know this is going back before a lot of people, but they actually emitted, they were class 2 medical devices that actually emitted microcurrent in order to zap or to stimulate a point. And that leads me to another thing I wanted to bring up. And they had an intensity control, and people said, well, how do I know where to put the intensity? And you want to put it where it is, where you feel it, but it shouldn't hurt you. And so you want to press on the wand so that you feel it, you have enough pressure on the tissue that you feel it, but not so much that it causes you discomfort. It shouldn't cause discomfort. It should be ameliorating discomfort. Okay?
And I quickly learned that.
Okay, there you go.
It doesn't take rocket science.
Empiricism is the way to go.
Exactly.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes.
Oh, Vance
Ruben,
Rogers.
Ruben, you need Vance has his hand up.
Yes.
And then
Vance.
Nancy, we're going in order here, Vance. You're gonna have to wait.
Okay. So who's waiting? Me?
Ladies
Nancy,
first.
you're next
Nancy,
up.
go
Oh,
ahead.
okay.
You are next
I
up.
had other questions came up. First, do you just push the sphere like this to get it out of the holder from the bottom?
It's not the easiest thing in the world to do,
Well,
but
that's
what you're doing is you're not going to hurt the sphere. That's chromed metal. You're not going to hurt the sphere. The silicon cup is very pliant, and so you can pop it out and just, don't use sharp objects to get it out. Just use your hands to get it out, and it comes out. It's not easy, but it comes out.
okay.
Okay.
Another question, when I ordered it, it was in back order. So Ruben, this is for you. When will it be shipped?
Well, it was shipped already for some of you. Depends when you place your order. Like Barbara Bertucci, she already got it. So we promise it will be out by December the 1st, but actually the product came before, so we ship a lot of them. So you will get it pretty soon.
Yay! Even though it was on back order when I ordered. Yay!
The back order, was just to do the pre-order deal for this business pack, but but now it's fine. So it was already shipped for some of you. Depends when you place the order. If you place the order yesterday, so it might get until tomorrow. But it is
Ruth Lowe just popped up and said she already got hers. So I guess some people have and some people don't. Patricia, you have to unmute. There you go.
I
Okay.
have it. I actually received it today. That's why
Good.
I'm actually testing it. I have it on the computer. I have a question. Will it pass airport hand luggage security? I imagine the rest of the magnets always do. I go with my.
It will. It will. They might ask you about it. In other words,
Okay,
when it goes through the scanner, they may flag you and say, come over here and let's look in your bag, and they're going to ask you about it. And just show them. I don't
Mhm.
think the wand's going to be a problem, and especially if you explain what it is. I don't think the sphere is going to be a problem either. Show them that's a roller and it's a massager, and you should be fine.
yeah, because you imagine now on the trip to Japan, and you can use it on the airplane. It does, some airplanes have the USB. And while traveling, this is a wonderful small thing that you can take with you.
Yeah.
Wonderful, thank
And
you.
again, the intent was for it to be self-care, for it to be
Mhm.
self-application.
Mhm,
And I think that's a smart step for Niken to take.
mhm.
Okay. Thank you, Patricia.
Thank you.
Nance.
Oh, any other ladies want to jump in front of me? I mean, it's like we got Nancy, go ahead.
I don't know.
Linda.
I don't know how many people can see you, but Vance has a knit cap on and a red and black plaid shirt. Did you just come in from splitting logs?
In the snow,
Okay. Oh, wow. All right. Well, yeah.
tons of fun,
See,
literally. Hey,
yeah.
go ahead.
No,
You
I'm
can
saying,
ask, you can ask me.
living here in Southern California, after having lived in Connecticut and having lived in other places, and of course Sarah is from Minnesota, when it gets into the mid 60s, people call that sweater weather. That kind of,
I am packing my sweaters to come see you in 4 weeks. So, but I wanted to, Nancy asked that question of when, and Nancy, if you'd move out of the Great Lone Star State and move to sunny Southern California, then you'd get your products faster. But seriously, Dave, I did want to ask you, because this hit me when ours was in the process of getting shipped. And I thought, I ground every morning on the Kenko ground. I ground all night long. And I was doing a 3-way with my BFF and a consultant last night who said the same thing. I sleep with that ground every night and it's incredible. And Sherry said that last night. So here's my question. In contrasting and comparing the Kenko ground to this device, I know they're totally different. I get that. This one is more on the go because you can take it and use it in your car, not. That was funny. That was a great question though. I mean, and I love the way you answered it.
Yeah.
Because cars are not grounded. Everybody should know that. You can drive over power lines.
yeah, if you have a power line laying across the top of your car, don't get out.
Yeah.
Wait for the electric company to come and figure out how to turn
Right.
off the live wire, because if you get out and step on the ground and touch the car, you have grounded it. You get
really curly hair. I mean, really curly, really fast. But
all right, let me answer you. Let me answer you, Vance. And I'm so glad you asked this question. And I know that sounds cliche. Oh, very good question. Thank you for asking. But I really am glad you asked that question, because when you're on the mat, the grounded mat, the discharge from your body is going through the mat to the earth, but it's kind of at random points. With the massager, whether you're using and this is certainly exemplified by the wand, the point at which you touch your skin, that point exactly is the point at which the charge from your body is exiting, and it's exiting at that one point, and it actually stimulates that point. So it's quite different. And with the roller, again, wherever it's tangent to, wherever it's contacting that area, that's the area where the charge is exiting. And so it's actually mechanistically quite different. Does that make sense?
yeah, no, it does. So those of us who are developing a 5-head or a 6-head, it'll start to come back. But on that note,
Yes.
so I'm going to go back to this consultant that I was on the phone with last night.
Okay.
And again, in contrasting and comparing, because I'm going to call him tonight and say, hey, Will, you'll want to order this tomorrow. Because if you love the Kenko ground, you're really going to love this.
We did a presentation to the Niken staff, the customer service people. and presented the products to them. And you would not believe the number of people who said, I want one now. It's I think it's going to be a fabulous product, and it's very tactile, and get one, try it.
Oh, mine will be arriving tomorrow. So
Okay.
I'm not, thank you for that. And if you had to describe, and because you're a wordsmith, and again, going back, what, 25, 28 years with me, Ken, is there one word that comes to your mind and how you would describe this and looking at all of the arsenal that we have to choose from?
Well, since it's a grounding, earthing or grounding product, I would have to say groundbreaking.
Touche.
Okay.
And Vance, I'd say it's Kenko ground on the go. It's portable.
And it's unfortunately, we have, society has moved to a point where using the Kenko creator and giving people a massage in that way has become, how should I say, a little bit more difficult from a social standpoint. And so this makes a whole lot of sense, because not only are we adding the grounding and the earthing to it, which is unique, it's made for self-application, or how should I say, a less personal application to other people. Does that make sense? More acceptable. Okay. Are we done? Ruben?
We're done.
We're not done. Lynn is sitting there with her hand up.
Lynn
Surjak is sitting there, and Linda Morris I'm going to ignore, but Lynn.
Sure.
Go ahead,
I'm from Canada, guys, and we live in an older home.
Okay.
Not every outlet is grounded. We've done some updating, Dave. So here's my
Right.
question. If I put an extension cord, I'm in an office which has no grounding outlet,
Yeah.
and I put extension cord, is that correct way to use
Sure.
it?
As long as you have a pipeline, an electrical pipeline to ground, you're good to go. You can use an extension cord of practically any length,
Okay.
but it's got to end up at ground.
Okay, because not every outlet in some older homes
Yeah, I
are
know.
grounded.
I looked at our outlets too. In this house was built in, I'm going to say 61 or 62. And a lot of the outlets are 3-prong, but some of the outlets are 2-prong. So you have to find a good, reliable, usable ground in order to do it. And I like extension cords. No, is not an issue.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Linda.
Thank you. Yeah, I have one of those little green devices from Home Depot because
Okay.
my house had dirty electricity.
Okay.
So when I first got on the grounding mat, I felt kind of like jittery, and I actually had like a electrical guy here.
Yeah.
I said, "Is the grounding wire working?" He
Yeah.
said, well, yes, it is. I said, "Are you sure?"
Yeah. The grounding wire had like 20 volts in it.
And he tested it again. He said, "No, it isn't." And it had actually come, rusted off of the pole or something. So he fixed it, me like, "Are you sure?"
That's what most of the homes do. They have a common ground, and it all leads to a metal pipe that's driven into the ground. And then
Well, it was actually on in the house, it was fine. It was just
Yeah.
to the electricity pole or whatever. I don't know. He
Oh,
fixed it anyway. So,
okay.
but my question is, I knew when we saw the Kenko Touch discontinued, there was going to be something new and better coming along. So would this be on the same lines as like the Kenko Touch or PEMF or something like that?
Yeah, I would say this is in a different class.
Okay.
It incorporates all of those technologies plus the earthing. And again, I encourage everybody to do their own research on Google. I'm on Google all the time, except when I can't remember someone's name, because I don't like to use Google as a crutch. Because it's all too easy to go on Google. Like I was watching a football game the other day, the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I couldn't remember the coach's name. I have known that coach for a long time, but I couldn't remember his name. Instead of running to Google and asking, I actually went through the alphabet. I do the alphabet. I start with A, B, C, and I got to T, and I said, Tomlin, Mike Tomlin. Okay. So that's what I do, you know, but Google is incredibly abundant with information. And again, you go to PubMed on Google and look up grounding or earthing, and it's just it's an amazing cornucopia of literature references. I'm not talking about somebody says this about that, or it's not anecdotal. These are research studies that are being done and that have been done, which have opened a lot of people's eyes about grounding and earthing. And to be honest with you, opened my eyes.
So it's beyond what we had before.
Absolutely.
That's great news.
It's in a different class.
And in a different class. That's
Yeah.
awesome. And one more. So when somebody says, well, how long do I use it? I know you said as long as you want, though. Do we say 10 minutes, 20 minutes?
I would say I would suggest 10 minutes. If somebody's got a sore wrist and they're using the sphere or they're using the wand, I don't think you want to be rubbing and probing on it for more than 10 minutes. You're going to create your own soreness.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Sure.
Appreciate it.
Carol Crosby.
Hi. Yes, I do. Dave, wonderful presentation. Thank you for taking the time out to do this for us.
Why can't I see you, Carol?
No, I'm sorry.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to turn off my video then.
That's fine.
Okay.
There you go. Now so I have two questions. You said that it's the sphere is very flexible or whatever. What happens if it falls, if you drop it? Is it tough? Is it, can you break it?
If you drop it, it will bounce.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not going to break it. I mean, you would have to run it over with the car. And even then the sphere is not going to break. You'll probably mess up the silicon holder. But no, you can drop it. I'm not encouraging you to drop it. I'm just saying, don't worry. It's fine.
Okay, great. And is there a warranty?
I'm sure there is.
Do you know
Ruben? Do you know the warranty?
So I'm taking notes. Tomorrow we will present this in the kickoff call. So any question you may have. So tomorrow we'll address this during the kickoff call. Mr. Dave Balzer will be with us, and it will be the official launch for everybody. So if you have more questions, just write them down and let's do it tomorrow.
I mean, I think the warranty, there's an insert with the product that comes with the product. It's also online on the Nikon website. If you just go and someone has said from Ward,
1 year.
everyone,
1 year from shipping date.
1 year from shipping date.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ward.
Thank you.
All right, Ruben.
Great. So
Ruben,
yes?
Ruben, we're going to do one more because Elaine Matthews, who we cannot see, has her hand up.
I'll get there.
Okay.
Hello. Yes, I'm wondering, I work a lot with the Amish.
Okay.
And they don't have electricity.
Yes.
Can they run a wire into the ground?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. They can run a wire. They can drive a metal rod or a metal pipe into the ground and attach a wire to it, and you're good to go.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
That'll help a lot of people.
Okay, good. Okay, Ruben.
Thank you, Dave, so much.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Good to see everybody.
Thank you very much, Dave, and thank you all of you for being here on this VIP training. So we'll see you tomorrow at the kickoff call. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful night.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Thank you, Ruben.
Goodbye.
Thank you for hosting.